Na 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 na, yeah. You are the music in me. You know the words once upon a time. Make you listen. There's a reason. Hello, guys. Welcome to a podcast I call As Your Big Sister with your host, me, Asia, Myqueen. A podcast that gives you big sister advice from a big sister who wish she had a big sister because, wow, I would have been a bad or B word. How are you guys doing? What is up? Y'all, I'm feeling amazing. How are you guys feeling? Good? Good. I'm about to go hang out with some friends after I finish recording. I'm gonna get me some barbecue wings. I have been craving wings all week. And I said, you know what? If you record this podcast, guess what? You can have them. And I think that's a really good hack, right? If you are holding things out and, procrastinating all those fun things, be like, okay, if you do it, guess what? You get a piece of candy. Kind of like how people used to convince you to do things when you were a kid. Like everything was like, oh, if you you get a piece of candy. And your ass was like, okay, yeah, no problem. You'll do anything for that piece of candy. I'll do anything for wings. Like literally anything. But anyways, I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. I've been working all week. Oh my God. Y'all, this 9-to-5 life / content creator life is a real, it's meant to be nearly impossible for you to escape the 9-to-5. You literally have to be so diligent, so strict with your time. Like, y'all, I will wake up at 4:00 in the morning to edit. What do you mean? What do you mean? I will get to work like 3 hours before my shift just so I could have some time to edit. Yeah. There have been times that I've pulled an all-nighter to edit or record or edit and record. Like, this life is not for the weak. It's not. So if you want to be a content creator, but you're a grown-ass person and you got grown-ass bills, just know that, bitch, there are going to be some times where you want to give up. There are going to be some times where you're like, okay, well, let me just go to sleep. Let me just do this. No, baby. No. Get your ass up. I'm sounding like Kim Kardashian. Get up and work. People don't want to work these days. But bitch, I'm Black. Grew up poor as fuck. In a very abusive household. Drug abuse like a motherfucker. Physical abuse. Mental abuse. All the abuses, right? So I can tell you guys this, right? Because like you and I are looking each other in the eyes, right? Get up and work. You have to. Like, there is no if, ands, or buts if you want to do this content creation shit. And you're Black. So you can't just be like a blonde girl that's like mouthing lyrics and getting a bunch of brand deals. Like, you're Black, you're dark skin, and you're not a size 2. Okay, girl, it's time to work. And for me, like, I do mind working. Yes, I do mind working. However, I know that when shit really starts like getting there for me, I know that I'm going to appreciate it a lot differently than people who just get things easily. Because I know a lot of people that like, they just live a life where things just come easy. They're just naturally smart. They really don't have to study. They really don't have to do much to get to where they want to be because they're just like natural at things. Like, I've never been someone who's like naturally, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm naturally funny. I'm just funny because I think trauma breeds funny people. So yes, I am naturally funny. I've never had to really try to be funny. But like, I've always had to work for other things. Like I've always had to be someone who like really, really had to study, really had to like put my foot into shit because just things just don't come to me easy. Like I don't understand things easily. So, but I know people that are like naturally smart and just are down the fuck bad because they never appreciate it. They're like, okay, well, like, yeah, I'm smart. Like, okay, I don't have to work for it. And they just, y'all, I know some like really, really smart bums. I'm like, you have so much going for you, but they can't see it because they've never worked hard for it. Unfortunate. So I have to work. I have to work. I have to work at things. I have to try hard. I just do. And I appreciate it now. Tomorrow I might not because I'm getting up at 4:00 in the morning to edit. But yeah. Anyways, so y'all, I want to talk about, for the As Your Big Sister segment, I want to talk about how we lack curiosity as humans. And I think that's a lot of the reason why some of us lack connection. Let's talk about it, right? Okay. I am a naturally nosy person. So maybe that's one thing that I'm natural at. It's being nosy. My mom told me a story about when I was a newborn, her and her friends used to be like, girl, on purpose to see what I would do. And she said that I literally did not have enough like muscle in my neck to move my head around, but I would try so hard to look around and see who just said girl, because you know, when someone says girl, you know, the tea is about to be spilled. And so my mom would be like, yeah, we would purposely be like, girl, guess what? And she said, I would be like, you know, if you guys aren't watching, I would try so hard to turn my head around to look at who is talking because I wanted to know the tea. So I'm just a naturally nosy, curious person. And being a nosy person, I am constantly in people's conversations. I can't stay out, baby. I cannot. Like, what's tea? What's going on? What are you guys talking about? You know, like I'll literally be at a restaurant and overhear another table spilling tea and like my ears will literally grow. And what I've noticed in the conversations that I have inserted myself in, the conversations that I've overheard, they're very much so not trying to one up each other, but it kind of feels that way. It's like this. You know, I went to Hawaii this past weekend. Oh, I went to Tulum this past weekend. Yeah, in Hawaii, I swam with the pigs. Oh my God, in Tulum, I jumped out of a helicopter. Oh, yeah, I've jumped out of a helicopter before. It's like nobody is getting to know what this person did on their vacation. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Neither one of them are interested in what each other are talking about, but they're talking to each other. I don't get it. And I was like, wow, like y'all don't know each other at all because no one's asking each other questions. No one's trying to get in depth about what this person is talking about. So why are you in a conversation with somebody that you do not have any interest in knowing anything about? I don't get it. So when I'm thinking about why we do this, I really do think, one, that we don't take the time to get out what we need to get out in our journal. You know, I talk about a lot of the things that happen in my life constantly, whether I'm in therapy or I am jotting down just ideas, things that are on my brain in my journal. I am always getting things out. So like there aren't moments where I have so much to talk about and I just don't know where to put it. Like I'm constantly putting things somewhere, right? I'm constantly putting words somewhere. And because I do that, I don't need to tell you what I did after you tell me what you did. I don't need to do that, right? I don't have a desperate need to get that out. I can literally ask you, how was your trip in Hawaii? What did you do? How did it feel? How long was your plane ride? Who did you go with? What outfits did you wear? Do you have any pictures? So many of us don't know the details of the people's lives that we say that we love because we're just constantly, I don't know, is it a dick measuring contest? And someone told me, they were like, oh, well, it's because I'm trying to relate. I mean, I guess, but why do we need to do that? Why do we need to relate? Well, why? What's the point? Why can't we just talk about the trip that this person went on? And when we sit down and we think about, do I know my friends? Do I really know my friends? Do I know why my friends do the things that they do? Do I know why my friends are the person that they are? A lot of people don't, because they don't ask why. No one's curious about things. And I think that has affected a lot of our relationships, how we know each other. I think it also has affected art. Right? Because if you're not curious about other people's art, if you're not curious about life, what are you creating? What are we talking about? If you're not curious, if you're not asking why. And I have been shamed so much in my life for asking why. Why do we do this? Why are things this way? Why do we have to do it this way? I've been told, you ask too many damn questions. I'm sorry, I don't like to go around this world blind. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I don't want to be led into a hole and I'm just trusting everybody. Why? Why do we need to go here? Why are we going here? Where are we going? I've been called nosy. Y'all, it's been so bad. I asked my grandpa, my dad's dad, I asked him the names of his siblings, and he said, why? I mean, I guess he was being curious too, but he was like, why? Why are you asking me all these questions? Why am I asking the name of people who are related to me? Is this what you're asking me? But maybe it's been because for so long, everybody has just mind their business. And I'm just like, why are we minding our business about certain things? Why? Why are we not asking, where did I come from? Who are the people that raised me? And who are they for real? Not my dad, not my mom. Who were you before you were my mom? Who were you outside of being my mom? A lot of people don't know their parents, and it might be for a good reason, because you might not like your parents if you know them for real. You might not like your mom if you know her for real. So many people don't know the ins and outs of who their parents are outside of being their parents. And I guess that's the blessing that I guess I'm blessed to have shit parents, because they were kind of like, this is who I am. And a lot of people have shit parents and don't know it, because their parents have covered up the shit person they are by being a mom or by being a dad. But they don't know when mom and dad walk outside the house and interact with people, they're a shit person. But some people don't know that. And I think it's because some people just aren't curious. They're not looking at the relationships their parents have with people outside of them. Does your mom show up for her friends? Does your dad show up for his friends? Who are they when they are just customers? Who are they to a cashier? Who are they as a coworker? And I think Being curious does cause a lot of pain. It does. It really does. Because there are some things I wish I didn't know. But if I didn't know those things, there's so much, it leaves so much opportunity to be bamboozled. Someone will tell me something and I'll be like, oh, so why did that happen? Or why did that person do that? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you didn't ask. You did not ask. How did you not ask why? How did you not ask who, what, when, where, why? They're like, I just didn't. Then what's the point of having conversation if we're not curious? If we're not going to ask questions, what is the point? Because at that point, we're just talking at each other. And then at the end of the day, you have this close friend. I mean, this person that you say is your close friend, and you know nothing about them. I asked my friend, I said, hey, girl, why have I never met your parents? Because we're getting to the point where we're calling each other bestie and we're hanging out all the time. Why have I not met your parents? And you're close to them. Well, actually, you're not only close to them, you live with them. How do I not know your parents' names? How do we, maybe I could have asked, but like, why haven't I ever met them? I want to know you. And I just feel like we just don't know the people that we're closest to enough. And we want to mind our business. We want to continue to like people, because I think sometimes the more you get to know someone, the more you're like, I probably don't like them the way I thought I did. But for me, it's like, I did say there are some things that I'd rather not have known. But I don't want to be blind to who someone is as I am sitting right next to them or I'm sharing space with them. I don't want to be blind to who you are. I want to know my friend. I want to know what kind of person my dad was when he was 10, 11. What did you feel like? What did life feel like? What did you listen to? I asked my dad, I was like, hey, what kind of music did grandma listen to? My grandma had passed away. She's been gone for 20 years. She's been gone for 20 years. But I was just asking my dad questions about her. Like, what does she do? Like, what does she do on a day-to-day basis? What kind of music did she listen to? And him telling me that she loved Marvin Gaye, in which what older Black woman didn't love Marvin Gaye? I'm like, oh my God. And I feel so much closer to her when I listen to Marvin Gaye now. I love Marvin Gaye. I love me some Marvin Gaye. And like, there's just things that I believe we should know about each other, especially when we share space with one another. And like, it makes people feel like you care, like you give a fuck. When you're asking them questions, when they're telling you about themselves and you're asking them why or where, or, how many siblings do you have? Okay, where are you within that order? Like, it makes people feel special, so like, why not? Why not ask people who they are? Get curious, guys. Get curious. Ask questions. There's a why to everything. There's a reason why everyone is who they are. Ask. Just ask. All right. It's affirmation time. Thank you, Intelligent Change, for my affirmation cards. All right. Pick a card. Pick a card, any card. All right. So this card says, I am on the right path and I trust that things are moving in my favor. Wow. A lot of times we think that we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We're not on the right track, maybe because you're not seeing immediate results. However, it takes time, baby. It takes time. And, we've got to build the credibility That's what I've been telling myself. Asia, you got to build your credibility as a podcaster. I know we're on episode 169 or no, whoa, 170. How you doing? We're on episode 170. However, I've never been really consistent with my podcast. I think, I've gone I'll go like 10 episodes in a row and then take a couple weeks off. And then it's like, no, you got to build your credibility. You got to show up every week and you got to show up every day. Whatever you guys are doing, you got to show up every day to see results. It just is what it is. You got to show up for yourself every day. Whatever you want, show up for it every day, even if it means 30 minutes, 20 minutes. You don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning like me and edit and shit. But if you want it, you got to show up every single day. And when you get there, you're going to be so thankful that the past version of you got up every day and spent some time for what you wanted. You got to do it. You got to do it. Anyways, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Don't forget to tell everybody that I'm beautiful, kind, smart, and sexy. My name is Asia Myqueen. This is As Your Big Sister. Remember, audio drops every Thursday at 6 a.m. Visuals drop every Thursday at 10 a.m. I also have vlogs dropping every Monday on YouTube. If you guys are just listening to this episode, there will be a link in my description that takes you straight to my YouTube channel. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Bye-bye.